Good morning. My name is Cindy Bailey. I am a library media specialist at Laconia High School in Rosendale, Wisconsin. And I have been here at this school district for 25 years. I was a high school science teacher for 11 years, and then I became a K through 8 library media specialist, where I taught kindergarten through third grade library skills and 6th through 8th grade computer science and technology skills. And then 3 years ago, I returned back to Laconia as the high school library media specialist. And now I co-teach a computer science class with a math teacher here. And I also do a lot of technology integration into all of the other classrooms, in addition to maintaining the library and providing research services for students. Why did I start becoming a teacher? Well, when I was in college, I actually started pre-med, so I took a lot of science classes. And ironically, when I decided that I could no longer be in school because I was tired of being in school, those science classes added up to a degree in biology, natural science, and a few credits later, also a health degree. And those things led me to teaching, which I'm glad they did. Initially, that wasn't my first choice, but I'm very happy. And obviously, 25 years later, I'm still here. If I could have any other career, well, I've always said, even though I wanted to get out of school at some point in time in my mid-20s, I miss going to school. I miss learning. And so, not that I don't learn, but I learn life skills and I want to learn more content knowledge. And so my ideal career would be if someone would pay me to go to school full time. I'd be happy to do that. And I think it would be so rewarding. How are kids different than 30 years ago? I don't think they really are. I've taught at all different levels, K through 12. Kids are kids. I love being back at the high school. Elementary was a tough few years for me, 11 years to be exact. But I can relate to high school kids, and I feel like I can develop a relationship with them that's more on a friendship basis. Whereas when I was K-8, I really had to be a parent, and I didn't like that as my role in education. Kids are kids. They have their challenges. They also have their great times. And I get to see that every day. How is teaching different? Well, 25 years ago when I started, I had a computer at home, but I also had a typewriter. I used a mimeograph machine when I first came for a very short period of time, so purple carbon on me. And I loved my chalkboard. I honestly hate not having a chalkboard. When data projectors became a thing and whiteboards became a thing, my district really wanted me to remove I had a whole wall chalkboard, which was amazing. And I fought it. And up until the time I left, I still had a chalkboard. When I left the high school, then shortly thereafter, the new teacher that replaced me ended up with a whiteboard, and then a data projector was soon to follow. But that is probably the biggest change that I've seen in technology, as well as, history repeats itself. When I first started, I was teaching with a couple of older gentlemen who had been here for a long time, and there was some school initiatives that they wanted us to work on during our common planning time. And I struggled with getting the two other teachers that I worked with to do those things. And their comment, I remember clearly, was, it doesn't matter. It's going to go away and something new will take its place. And they're right. So, we have a lot of school initiatives that, have steam for a couple of years and then move on and then recirculate. So, some of those standards-based things that I was doing at the beginning are rearing their heads again. And in maybe a new title, but the same concept. So education, while it changes and we, improve it, it certainly does tend to resort back to the practices that work. If I could tell someone something about becoming a teacher, well, to be cliche, don't do it for the money because it's not there. And I worry about new teachers as they come in because of the change in our climate in this country. Our unions are not as strong as they used to be. And unfortunately, new teachers don't know what we've lost, especially in the state of Wisconsin, as far as our union benefits and privileges. And so I think if I were to talk to new teachers, I would let them know that being not necessarily unionized, but being a strong voice for themselves is important. And the work that they do is important. And they need to shout that from the rooftops as often as they can to help people not in education realize how challenging yet rewarding education can be. What is one thing I would change to help kids learn better? But that was it. So certainly, again, being in education for 25 years, I have seen some dramatic changes due to budgetary constrictions in school districts. And one of the things that I think has hurt our children the most is the increase in class sizes. And so if I were to change anything about education, I would make sure that every class everywhere had somewhere between 15 and 20 students per teacher, not per teaching assistant, not per, after school activity, but actually per classroom, no more than 15 to 20 students. And that would make a world of difference for our students, in my opinion. Thanks.